John Hardy was a desperate little man. He carried 2 guns every day. He shot him a man on that West Virginia line. And you ought to seen John Hardy get away. You ought to seen John Hardy get away. John Hardy had a pretty little girl. The dress she wore was red. She came skipping through the old jailhouse saying, Papa, I would rather be dead. Yes, Papa, I would rather be dead. John Hardy had another little girl. The dress she wore was blue. She came skipping through the old jailhouse saying, Papa, I have always been true. Yes, Papa, I have always been true. I've been to the east and I've been to the west. I've been all around this world. I've been to the river and I've been baptized. Oh, now I'm on my hanging ground. Now I'm on my hanging ground. Whoa! Thank you much. I appreciate that. It's always an honor for me to visit with the folks in a place called Almost Heaven. Yeah, I said almost. Up north not too long ago, I was working a show up there, and a gentleman said, I heard your accent, and I said, where do you come from? I said, I come clean from West Virginia. He said, by golly, there ain't many comes clean from down there. There's been a lot of experiences in my life in this music business right here. Treasures I shall never forget. We played a show in Quincy, Massachusetts some years ago for the midget folks, you know, the little folks. And I asked, I said, do you folks mind if I use the word midget when I say something? They said, no, as long as you use it in good taste and with a little honor, says we don't mind, and that's the intentions I had. But nevertheless, we played a midgets convention, and there must have been 450 of them at this one particular show there. And we got a standing ovation and didn't even recognize it. Let's try another tune. Oh, poor Ellen Smith, Lordy, how was she found? Shot through the heart, lying cold on the ground. Her clothes were all ragged and her curls were on the ground, and the blood marked the spot where poor Ellen was found. They took up her body and away they did go, off to that lonesome graveyard, I'll see her no more. They took up their rifles and they hunted me down. They found me a-loping around through the town. I've been in this prison for 20 long years. Each night I see Ellen through my bitter tears. Now the warden just told me that soon I'd be free to go to Ellen's grave beneath that old elm tree. I'm going home tomorrow, but I'll stay when I go. On poor Ellen's grave, pretty flowers I will sow. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate that. I'm so proud to be in West Virginia again, too. I'm a lot like Minnie Pearl at my age. I'm proud to be anywhere. I'm not that old, though, really. You're as only old as you feel or think, both of them. But a fellow the other day asked me, he said, Don, really and truly, just how old are you? I said, well, sir, I'm just in the spring of life. He took a look at me. He said, you must have had one hell of a winter. Well, I'm going to have a lot of help out here just in a moment, Alan, and all the Carroll County car strippers, they'll be coming right over here to help me catch the greasy pig or whatever I need. I like to do one of the older bluegrass numbers, and when I mean oldest, I think it was first introduced to the public in about 1929 or 30. Called You're Bound to Look Like a Monkey When You Grow Old. I can tell by your face you belong to the monkey race, and you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. When you grow old, when you grow old. Oh, you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. I can tell by your knees you've been climbing up coconut trees, and you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. When you grow old, when you grow old. Oh, you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. I can tell by your nose you've been swinging by your toes, and you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. When you grow old, when you grow old. Oh, you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. I can tell by your jaw that a monkey was your paw. Now you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. When you grow old, when you grow old. Oh, you're bound to look like a monkey when you grow old. We live not too far from a lake there. We got real mean, old man. He'd put us in a little rowboat, you know, and he'd row me way out in that doggone lake about a quarter of a mile, and I'd have to swim back. He'd take the boat and won't leave me out there. And me and my brother grew up, and we separated. He went his ways and into the Michigan or wherever he was going to make his living his way, and me mine. We met 20 years later, and we were talking, reminiscing about the old days, how we grew up. And he started laughing. He said, you know something, Don? The old man used to take you out there in that boat about a quarter of a mile in that lake and throw you out, and you had to swim back. He said, you were only 7 years old at the time. You know, he says, I didn't know you could swim a quarter of a mile, and you 7 years old like that. I said, that swim was nothing. Getting out of that darn bag was the hard part. Here's a song I'm kind of proud of. It's based on the old-time mountain style of music. Maybe new to a lot of folks, and some of the other artists around the country, they picked it up and recorded it. I'm tickled plumb to death. Being an old boy from the mountains, corn-fed and hand-spanked, my little rendition here of a little tune called The Things in Life we recorded for the Rounder record. Here's a song I'm kind of proud of. It's based on the old-time mountain style of music. Maybe new to a lot of folks, and some of the other artists around the country, they picked it up and recorded it. I'm tickled plumb to death. Being an old boy from the mountains, corn-fed and hand-spanked, my little rendition here of a little tune called The Things in Life we recorded for the Rounder record. Oh, look up, look down this lonesome road. Hang down your head and cry, for we often lose some things in life that makes us wonder why. Oh, the fairest love I ever had now sleeps beneath the clay. I live in hopes and dreams of her that we'll meet again someday. Oh, I often sit and wonder why life has to be this way. But after all is said and done, I'm sure God has His say. I just want to be a small part of this life, with some few things to achieve. Just to know I'd been a fruitless cause would give my poor heart grief. Now when they lower my casket down in some lonesome grave to rest, and you take your last look at my face, you can say I did my best. Thank you, Connie. I sure appreciate that. Got any West Virginia moonshiners in the house? Don't tell me that's fast, too. All that's gone? What's this world come to? I'll tell you one thing, though. It might be a good thing because it's bad for your health. Drinking and cigarettes and all that is really bad, really. Alcohol especially. I learned a lesson a long time ago about that. Whiskey and women together killed my grandfather. He couldn't get either, he just shot himself. I remember some great experiences in the mountains where I grew up here. My father used to make moonshine liquor, and I can remember that real well. And he never would allow us kids to have hard liquor until we were 3 years old anyway. But I had a way of peeking around watching where he hid his moonshine. I'd sneak out and get into it. Boy, and old Pa would be so mad he'd almost die. He kept telling my mother, says, how am I going to break that kid from drinking my moonshine liquor? What can I do with him? I don't know, said Pa, maybe you'll think of something. Oh, a week went by, and one day Pa says, hey, boy, come on over to the barn. I thought he was going to tan my hide over there. He took me over there, and he reached in his Levi jacket pocket, and he pulled out one of these little old curved mason jars, you know, and he had some white lightning in that thing. He said, stay right here. Don't you go. I'm going to learn you something. He had a glass in this pocket. He pulled that little glass out, and he set it over on the side of the horse manger there, and he took that white lightning, and he filled that glass about half full of that. And he took his toes, and he kept kicking around in the hay and the straw there, you know. kicked up a big old nightcrawler worm just about that long. What's my Paul trying to do here? He said, now I want to show you something. He reached down, he got that old big fish worm about that long, he held him right out over that glass of liquor, you know, and kerplunk, down he went. That old worm, he did this about twice, and he straightened out there just as dead as a doornail. Killed that worm flat. My pa looked me right straight down and said, boy, now didn't I learn you something right there? I said, you sure did, Pa. He said, what? I said, that learnt me if I drink a lot of that stuff there, I'll never have worms. Old Pa used to go high up on the mountain there and get his snoot full of moonshine liquor, and he had a hard time getting off of that mountain, and my ma just worried plumb to death. One time she said, son, you go get that old oil lantern, and you go yonder on that hill, and you find your pa, fetch him on here. I was scared to go around the side of the hill in the dark. I was afraid of bears and everything. You know how they tell you bear stories. I had that old lantern, and I was going around the side of that hill to go get my pa on that mountain, you know. And I had to pass right by the old hog pen out on the hill there. When I got up close to that hog pen, I never heard such a racket in all of my life. My Lord, what's happening? A herd of elephants are coming, or is that a bear going to get me? What is it? And finally, I got the old lantern to quit shaking long enough to go up and look right over in that darn hog pen. There was my pa lying right over in that mud with an old hog, an old sow. He was so drunk he didn't know where he was at, and he was just rubbing on her collar. Oh, Ma. He thought he was home. He thought he was home in bed. He's calling her Ma and said, oh, Ma, Ma. He said, you know, I've been married to you might nigh on to 40 years now. He said, tonight is the first time that I ever know that you had 2 rows of buttons up your nightgown. You don't believe that, do you? Thank you. I knew you'd like it. They liked it at Harvard, too. Let's pick a little tune here. I like to have let's get them one at a time. Alan, bring the guitar and come here and pick a little tune with me. Would you please? We're going to pick a little instrumental here, about 13 cents and a bucket of toenails, 4 mule shoes, 6 axe handles, plug a shoe in the back, and 8 black-eyed peas, 4 cabbage heads, 2 old Dominica roosters, an old rubber shoe, and a pound of cow salve. That's butter. That's butter, folks. Here's a little tune called Kill That Shanghai Rooster. Cooking now. That rooster's at. Here's an old tune that's been kicking around quite a bit. It's by the famous Carter family. And when I say famous Carter family, I don't mean to stick my foot in my mouth and insinuate to people at all. It might be those peanut-growing folks, you know, the Carters. You can get in trouble if you don't do this just right. I'm talking mainly about the guitar pickers from the Blue Ridge Mountain, the famous Carter family, the guitar pickers from up in the Blue Ridges. They did an old-time song that I heard when I was a kid, and I think Linda Ronstadt or some more people have revived it. One called I Never Will Marry You. One evening as I rambled along the seashore, the wind did whistle and the waters did roll. I heard a fair damsel make a pitiful sound. It sounded so lonesome in the waters around. I never will marry or be no man's wife. I expect to live single all the days of my life. The shells in the ocean will be my deathbed. The fish in deep water swim over my head. My lover has left me, the one I adore. She's gone where I'll never see her anymore. She plunged her fair body in the water so deep. She closed her pretty blue eyes forever to sleep. I never will marry or be no man's wife. I expect to live single all the days of my life. The shells in the ocean will be my deathbed. The fish in deep water swim over my head. Deep water swim over my head. Thank y'all. Thank you very much. Here's another old-time song that I used to kind of clown. I'm a clown anyway. I clown around with it wherever I go on a bluegrass show, and I kid about it. I say, here's a fine old-time bluegrass number, and I just fly right into it. It's a song called There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a frog on the knot. There's a frog on the knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a frog on the knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a wart on the frog. There's a wart on the frog with a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a wart on the frog with a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hair on the wart. There's a hair on the wart on the frog on the knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hair on the wart on the frog on the knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a germ on the hair. That's a germ on the hair on the wart on the frog on the knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. That's a germ on the hair on the wart on the frog on the knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. Y'all want to sing along? There's a little speck on the germ. There's a speck on the germ on the hair, on the board, on the frog, on the knot, on the log, in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a speck on the germ on the hair, on the board, on the frog, on the knot, on the log, in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. Think I'd go across that ocean if I don't change my notion. I've got to forget you if I can. I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, for I'm head over heels in love with you. Every day is sad and lonely, for I'm thinking of you only. Lord, I just can't sleep when I lay down. Oh, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, for I'm head over heels in love with you. All the nights are long and dreary, all I do is sit and worry. I just can't bear the thought of losing you. Oh, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, because I'm head over heels in love with you. Now I'd like to be forgiven, but this life ain't worth living. I have to sit and worry over you. Oh, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do. I'm head over heels in love with you. Oh, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do. I'm head over heels in love with you. Thank you, folks. I appreciate that. Here's an old time song right here that I heard my pappy do when I was a kid. For all the coon hunters in the house, and I know there's a whole slew of them out there too. One called "Somebody Stole My Old Coon Dog." Somebody stole my old coon dog, wish they'd bring him back. He run the big coons over the fence and the little ones through the crack. Was him up a simmon tree and a raccoon on the ground. The raccoon said, "You son of a gun, now shake them simmons down." The pheasant and the jaybird, they waltzed around together. They danced all night in the briar patch, never lost a feather. There's a verse I like. Raccoon has a bushy tail, a possum's tail is bare. Rabbit has no tail at all, just a little bunch of hair. Well, somebody stole my old coon dog, wish they'd bring him back. He run the big coons over the fence and the little ones through the crack. Whoa, boy. This world is not my home, I'm just a passing through. My treasures are laid up somewhere beyond the blue. Yes, many friends and kindred have gone on before, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh, Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven is not my home, oh Lord, what will I do? Oh, the angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Heaven's expecting me, that's one thing I know. I left it all to Jesus a long time ago. Oh, he will take me through, though I am weak and poor, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh, Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven is not my home, then Lord, what will I do? Oh, the angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Just over in the glory land, there'll be no dying there. Saints all shouting victory and singing everywhere. I can hear the voice of those who have gone on before, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh, Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven is not my home, oh Lord, what will I do? Oh, the angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Thank you all very much, and a pleasant good night to you.